Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Really interesting to see yesterday that Mesut Ozil has retired from international football, and wow, he issued a big statement yesterday, really damning of the German Football Federation, calling them racist, saying that when Germany win, he's German. When Germany lose, he's an immigrant, and it's pretty damning, the sort of stuff he says. And he has now retired from football in Germany. What would that mean for Arsenal? Will that mean that we get a better Mesut Ozil now that he's retired? That he'll be more concentrated on Arsenal, because that's going to be the only thing for him now, Arsenal Football Club. We'll have to wait and see, but that was really interesting yesterday, the developments on Mesut Ozil. And of course, Arsenal over there in Singapore, about to start their tour, where they're going to be taking on PSG. They're also going to be taking on Atletico Madrid. So two really big tests over there in their pre-season friendlies against two really good teams. And it's going to be interesting to see how Unai Emery is getting on with the squad. Of course, what we're always most interested in here is who's going to be coming in that's new. Well, before we talk about who's going to be coming in that's new, some of the old boys that might still be there. Alex Iwobi looks like he's on the verge of a brand new contract at Arsenal. We're being told today that he's been offered a new deal. His current deal expires in 2020. And Iwobi has apparently been offered a new deal with a contract extension that will take him through till 2022. So that'd be a great deal for Alex Iwobi. Of course, he's still only 22 years of age. I don't know. I really, was looking at the debate going on around this yesterday and was really interested to find out from you guys that does Alex Iwobi deserve a new contract? I mean, when he burst on the scene, I remember that game against Everton when he came on. He was unplayable in that game, quick, direct, scored goals. Then after that, really looked like a hot prospect. Last season, he was so indifferent. He'd have moments where he'd do great stuff in games. Then he'd have other moments where he was just really poor, giving the ball away. A guy that shows so much potential. Like, he's the sort of guy like go past 2-3 players and then his end product is just non-existent. A poor shot at the end of it, poor decision making. Then of course there was all of the off-field stuff that happened. We all remember that party that he was at the night before a game, which got captured, and that was all in the newspapers. Now Unai Emery's come in. He's had this dossier apparently on every single Arsenal player. I know that for a fact because even I was discussing it with Ian Wright when I was over there in Russia, and he said to me, the guys behind the scenes have told him as well, he's got this dossier. He's looked at every single player in that Arsenal squad and he's looked at them thoroughly. So if he's looking at it and thinking to himself, Iwobi deserves a new contract, then he's thinking to himself, this guy has still got something to offer for the club. And one thing about Iwobi is that he's one of the few players in that Arsenal team, probably Mesut Ozil was one of the others, and I suppose Mkhitaryan will fall into that bracket now, that can pick the ball up from deep and run at players. And that is a big asset to have in any team. And Unai Emery might be thinking to it, I can bring the best out of this guy, I can really make this guy flourish. But certainly, last season, I think it was a poor season for Iwobi. He was really sort of as well, the fans were on his case, which weren't good. It's never good when the fans are on your back, and they were really on his back last season, and that knocked his confidence as well. So really interesting to see how Unai Emery gets on. Can he turn Alex Iwobi around? And also, I'd like to know from you guys, does Alex Iwobi deserve a new contract? Does he deserve this? Or should we have sold him and bought in somebody else? I'm going to do a poll on it. Please let me know. By the way, yesterday's poll about Olivier Giroud, remember I asked the question, should we keep him? Should we go back and buy him? Should we keep him? We sold him, of course, in January, £16 million. Chelsea apparently willing to sell him already, even though he'd done excellently for Chelsea. Looks like they're willing to let him go. He's 31 now. I asked the question, should we go and re-sign him? 55% of you said yes, 45% no. So pretty even split there. Although the advantage, majority of people there saying yes, let's go and re-sign him. Kingsley Coman, we're seeming to be talking about Kingsley Coman every single day right now on Transfer Daily, and we're going to be talking about him again today because again it's all over the news. Bit of a loose link today, but there's a journalist, Dean Jones, who writes for Bleacher Report, and he was answering questions on it, and he said that the interest in Kingsley Coman is genuine. That's what he was told, that there is a genuine interest in Kingsley Coman from Arsenal. And you know what? I kind of heard a similar thing as well, that it's not just BS, that Arsenal do like Coman and would be interested in signing him. Interest in signing somebody is completely different to making it happen. I mean, and again, as I've explained on the show many a times now, to make a deal like this happen, Arsenal will have to go in big. He will be a very, very expensive player. We're talking 50, 60 million easily. He's still young. And obviously, I think Arsenal will have to be looking to sell players, which I think they're gonna. But definitely Kingsley Coman will be an exciting player to bring in at Arsenal. But interest apparently is genuine, but whether that gets done or not, let's wait. Only a few weeks ago, remember, because the window closes earlier this year, closes right before the start of the season, August the 9th. So we'll find out just before them. And then, of course, there's the Ousmane Dembele one. Now, again, this is still very interesting. Arsenal have not made any bids. Barcelona, they've came out previously and said, listen, Ousmane Dembele is going to be at Barcelona next season. However, what's really interesting is this whole situation that's going on with Willian. Barcelona have bid £65 million now. This, I think, is about their second or third bid to Chelsea for Willian. They are dead keen on bringing in the Brazilian to Barcelona. If they get there, man, and a lot of times these sort of clubs like Barcelona do end up getting there, man. If they end up getting there, man, and that's a lot of outlay for Willian, because what is he, about 29 or something like that. What happens to Ousmane Dembele? Because Willian is going to be playing out probably wide on one of those wings. You've got Messi there, of course. You've got Suarez. Where is Ousmane Dembele going to play? And will Ousmane Dembele be sat out on the bench? And will Barcelona look on it and say to themselves, they'll consider a loan move to Arsenal, or they'll sell him and maybe Arsenal could come in and buy him, which would be, I can't see, that'd be so much money, but maybe a loan move. You don't know if this one, it could fall into place. There's a links with Ousmane Dembele and, of course, all his own mates that he used to play with at Borussia Dortmund. There's Sven Mislintat, who bought him in at Dortmund. It's so interesting, this one. It's going to run and run, but a lot of it's going to depend on what happens with this Willian deal. And then, of course, Arsenal wouldn't be the only club that might be interested in a guy like Ousmane Dembele should he become available. But wow, what a sign it would be if it did happen. It's a dream at the moment, but certainly a lot of interesting developments going on behind the scenes that we're going to have to keep our eye on. Cech linked today with a move to Roma. Now, of course, Roma, the other day sold their goalkeeper, Alisson, the highly rated Alisson. He's gone to Liverpool, and Roma need a replacement. And apparently they have identified Cech, who's now 36, of course, as the ideal replacement for Alisson. Cech's representatives before have come out and said that, Cech's more than happy to stay at Arsenal and fight for his place. But as I said yesterday, it was really interesting, these links to Jan Sommer, of Borussia Mönchengladbach, and the Swiss, of course, he's a Switzerland goalkeeper. What would that mean for Cech if those links are indeed true and Arsenal are looking to bring Sommer in? Could Cech end up at Roma? Let's wait and see again what happens with that one, but those links are around today. Right, let's get in to see what you guys have had to say. I'm going to start off with this one here from Jimmy Young. He says, seems odd that we're buying another goalkeeper. Cech surely must be on his way out. Can't imagine Cech wanting to play third choice or Sommer joining to be third choice. Personally, I don't think we need another goalkeeper. Cech, perfect backup for Leno, and I kind of agree with everything that he says there. But then having said that, as I've just said, Petr Cech, if Roma are coming in for him, maybe that might be something that would really, really interest him. Big club Roma, I think they're back in the Champions League. Why not? Callum Christie says, what about Max Meyer? He's a free agent, snap him up. We've spoken about Max Meyer before on the show. Very talented player. He is a free transfer, so you wouldn't have to pay a transfer fee. However, he's demanding some humongous wages at the moment that not just Arsenal, no club at the moment seems to be willing to pay that sort of money. So Max Meyer at the moment stuck without a club. I'm sure he'll get a club somewhere, but he's going to have to lower his wage demands. Ben says, the way Joel Campbell has been treated is dreadful. The poor chap has number 0 on his shirt on the Arsenal website. I haven't seen that, but yeah, Joel Campbell's had a rough time since he's coming at Arsenal. He's come in, he's just, loan after loan after loan. It's been really, really sad time for him. Probably going to get sold this summer. Just has never really had a chance to shine at Arsenal. And it was obvious that Arsene Wenger didn't rate him because, he had him for a little bit and then just sent him out. I thought when he came in, he did pretty decently. But this is the thing about football. You know what? We'll have a go at players when they say they want to transfer, they want to move and stuff like that. And quite rightly so, as fans, we just look at our club and we're like, come on, man, where are you going, Alexis? Or where are you going to all these various different players? However, clubs as well, when they don't, particularly fancy a player, they don't give them any chance either. So sometimes you can see why players will say to themselves, I'm doing what's best for me, because if I'm not performing, or if even sometimes when I am performing, or I just not getting a chance, and I'm going to do what's best for me. So, and Joel Campbell is really been treated. He has had a rough time since he's been at Arsenal. Danny Gill said, I think we need another centre-back because I think Mustafi is still not good enough. He could improve, but if we want Champions League, then I don't think we want to take the risk. Mustafi, at the moment, looking like he could possibly be staying at Arsenal, could be sold, could cash in on him. I'm kind of with this guy a bit. I still would like to see us bring in another centre-back. Koscielny, of course, is out long-term. Mustafi had such a poor season. We know, though, when he first came to Arsenal, he played really well. But I would have loved to have seen Arsenal go out there and buy a really top centre-back, one of the best around, and bring him in. And I'm still a little bit worried in that area. I mean, Socrates has come in, that will strengthen it. But I don't know. I'm still slightly worried in that area. Let's get this last one. Vlad Fersen says, we've got Aubameyang and Lacazette. Who the hell needs Giroud? We actually have strikers that don't go 22 games without scoring a goal. Pretty harsh on Giroud. Listen, Giroud, though, was a good impact player. A guy that you could bring off of the bench. I mean, how many times did he come off the bench and score vital goals for Arsenal? Not as a main striker, I agree with you. I don't even want to go back to that style of playing with Giroud up front. But as a plan B that you can bring off the bench sometimes when things ain't really happening, Giroud would be perfect. At 55% of you think that, and I'm amongst that 55%. I'd re-sign him, however, not as one of our main strikers. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. As I said, Arsenal in Singapore. We're going to be heading over there tomorrow. We'll be doing Transfer Daily from here. We're heading over to Singapore. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to meeting people out there. Looking forward to see how Arsenal get on against much better opposition. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow.